What's going on, guys? Melissa Miller, aka Melissa Backwoods here, and today I'm coming at you with a brand new Reate pocket knife. So Reate sent me two exciting new releases. Both of these are from the same family. We have the PLXT and the PLXF. Now they are both pivot button lock knives. So I haven't held or played with many types of knives like this before. So this is something relatively new and exciting. I got to hold these at SHOT Show a couple months ago, and I was pretty excited about them. We're gonna get into them. We're gonna talk about the mechanisms. So we have the PLXT, and the T stands for thumb studs, okay? And then we have the PLXF, which rightfully so stands for flipper. Okay, let's talk specs for the PLXT or PLX thumb stud. Weight is coming in at a healthy 4 ounces. Oh, not too heavy, not too light, but our ones with the G10 are going to be a little bit heavier at 4.2 ounces. You're gonna notice there is a huge variety of colors and variants that you can get with both models. In fact, here we go. I was able to get just about all of the variants on the screen so you guys can see. This variant, I switched the pocket clip over, which we'll talk a bit more about that nice little ambi pocket clip. Dude, come on, fit right in there. That doesn't look good. Length overall is coming in at 7 inches, and then our blade length is coming in at a relatively healthy 3 inches. So this is your more compact version. Now, when we move on to our PLXF, this is our larger version. Set them together so you can see. So the PLXF with the flipper on it is quite a bit longer, just slightly under 8 inches. And then the blade length for this is coming in at 3.5, about 3.5 right there. Now, just like the PLXT, the PLXF also has a bunch of color varieties and variants. This one is coming in at 5.1 ounces for the micarta, and then when we put our G10 on there, that's going to be 5.4 ounces. I always love how a jade G10 looks. So the handle length on this one, this is 4.5. This is a 4.5 inches. This is a substantial handle. Now I have smaller hands. I have medium-sized female hands. This feels good. And I imagine if you were a man with significantly larger hands, this would be plenty of room. And then when we go to the PLXT, the smaller version, now my hands are covering just about all of this handle with a little bit of room. So there is your hand size comparison. You have the ProTech Malibu and the Kershaw Iridium next to the PLXF, and Pyrite, CJRB Pyrite, and Civivi Elementum next to the smaller PLXT. Blade stock thickness on both models is the same, 0.15. Steel is going to be Nitro V, so it's tough. It's durable, it holds an edge, and it's basically ABL or ABL steel with more nitrogen and vanadium added. To keep this knife at a good price point, this one is going to be around $117, $112, and they said that this one will probably be priced pretty similar. Okay, let's get into the fun stuff. So this is a pivot button lock. So we have a button on the pivot that we push down, and then we have a little lockout switch right here, or a safety. And that is going to make sure that we cannot, even when we're pressing this button, we cannot fold the blade back down. So what does that look like on the inside of the knife? So when our blade is out, in order to get that blade to come back down, we have to push our pivot button lock. But we can't push it down if we slide this lock bar up, because it wedges itself in between that button and prevents us from pushing it down. This is the pivot button that we press down. Once we press down, there is something that releases inside the tang to allow that tang to close and open. Watch up there, really close. Bloop! Isn't that fun to watch? It pops right out. Press down the pivot, and then we can close it. If we turn to this side, you can actually see there's a hole running along inside the blade's tang. Another thing that I really like is the nested ambidextrous pocket clip. I actually really think this plate adds a cool little flair and touch to the knife. In order to take it out, all you gotta do is remove the scales like so, and I would recommend just giving it like a little tap. Guys, it fell off my desk and down. It fell down my grate. It's gone forever. That is why you should always disassemble your knives on a nice rubber mat. Oh, see, this one popped right out. Oh, that's just my luck. Changing those over is really easy. Just unscrew, swap the plate out with the other pocket clip. You can see the ball bearings. This runs on nice, fat, wide ball bearings. And what does that mean? Well, that means it is smooth. It opens great, feels great. It is whippy, it is snappy. And yeah, I enjoy, that's why I just love, when you get a good manual folder, it feels like it's borderline assisted. I feel like I'm applying too much leverage to get it out. But yeah, it's nice and smooth. You don't have to give it too much oomph to whip that out on those ball bearings. Feels good, action is fun. Is 0.61, and it's the same on both models. I would love for this one to just be a little, I wish this one would be a little bit thinner. I feel like the thickness of the handle works well on this size. It's perfect for this size, but it feels, for me, I feel like it's just a little less balanced on the smaller version. But you know, some people like thicker handles to have more hand around it. So it could just be my personal preference. Look at this, look at the jade. That jade G10 with the black looks so cool. Yeah, this is exciting, guys. God, that feels great. That feels good. I'm pumped about this. I mean, pivot button lock. I don't know what's going on in the inner workings there right now. I am actually eager to get a hold of Reate and be like, yo, what's going on inside there? I know that something is something is jutting through this tang and preventing it from closing, which means it's a very strong lock mechanism. Yeah, I like the button right here on the pivot. It feels great. It feels intuitive. When you're opening a knife, your thumb's like already there. You can just move it right up. You're not feeling around for a tiny button. So it just feels really comfortable and user-friendly to have a big button pivot lock like this one. Same goes for left-handed. It's just easy to find immediately. So many colors of options. I'm trying to swap out all the color options, but yeah, black PVD coated on the PLX T. Overall aesthetics, I totally dig it. Very clean design from Reate. We have our nice saber grind. It's flat right here, flat grind. And then we also have our swedged out where it gets thin up here. So, you know, it's a piercing. No, I'm not gonna get crazy, but it's just a good functional EDC shape that's got a unique locking system and a cool little safety lockout. And I think it's very reasonably priced. Nice non-fussy pocket clip that, like I said, is reversible, slides right in and out, doesn't have any silly little beads or anything catching, and it feels comfortable coming out. Fidget factor is going to come in at a 7. Feels good, feels smooth. The action is good. It's running on those big ball bearings and it feels nice. That pivot lock being there, I don't have to even think about it because that is just such a natural placement for your finger to find that button lock. It's meant to be, I think, really truly a working knife. This thing feels sturdy. It is not flimsy. And I know I know there needs to be some width added to the handle to account for the mechanics that are within this pivot button lock. So I'm not discounting that. It just feels like you could beat the crap out of this knife. You have this deep finger choil groove, so you can pinch up on your grip. You have, you know, a decent amount of jimping. This is not my favorite style of jimping, but it's there, right? So it has these little features that let you know that they made this to be a true EDC blade. Oh, good. This is definitely more of like your compact type EDC design, whereas your PLX F with that big generous finger choil is going to be more of like your workhorse type blade. Okay, I'm doing really weird. Oh, it cuts. It actually felt very sharp. I get some vitamins today. Oh, little one. To conclude this video, I do want to say that I think this is it's another good knife coming from Reate. I think they are reasonably priced. I think they are built to be a functioning everyday task knife. I think they are also innovative. They're cool. I don't have something like this. I'm guessing you probably don't have something like this either. And they're very reasonably priced at this one, coming at around $112, $117, and Reate said that this one is going to be priced in a similar fashion. If these are available, I will link it in the description below. If they are not, well, I'll get it up when they do become available, but they might not be around at the time I'm making this video. Okay, I'm going to end off this video by showing all the color and variants for each of these models, the PLX T thumb stud and the PLX F flipper, so you can see all of the color choices because it was impossible to get them all in this video. Okay, here are the variants. This is the one that I was taking apart. Still need to reassemble it, but there it is in the black PVD coated, black micarta, JG10, green micarta, brown tan G10, orange G10, blue G10, and black micarta. And then I will end it off with my favorite one that I changed the pocket clip over, this black micarta with this rose gold colored Nitro V. These are the ones available in the PLX flipper or the PLX F. Have all the very similar options with just a little bit less ones in the black PVD coated. I'm really hoping they make this one in the black PVD coated just like they did with the PLXT. Because as I've already stated, whew, look at that. This is like a micarta with what looks like to be like a red G10 inlay. That's a really pretty looking one. I'm appreciating their options with orange for the PLF and then the PLT. They have the two orange options. This is great for if you're like in an emergency situation. It's just this high vis color that you can see really quick. You can grab it quickly and have your knife when you need it, if this is the type of knife that you would per se put in a backpack or an emergency kit. Oh, shout out to this black, shout out to this knife, shout out to this black and blue knife though, for real. That looks really cool. And these nice earthy options, your green micarta, and then this tan G10, very pretty kind of creamy tan G10 color. This is the PLXT. I'm curious to see if they'll be doing the PLX F in an all blackout version, but I do love the classic color variant of the black micarta and the steel color. When it's a good looking clean knife with a nice design, you don't need to get fancy and weird with the colors and materials because the knife shape speaks for itself. Okay, that was I'm done with the video now. I started getting into showing them all, but thank you guys so much for the love and support on this channel, and I hope that you will have a good weekend. And for anyone who might need to hear this right now, you're doing good. You're doing good, and don't be too hard on yourself. That's it. Have a good day, guys. Bye.